Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
We've made it to the weekend. Thank you so much for joining us today here on New Life Live. I'm your host, Brian Perez, joined by licensed professional clinical counselor Becky Brown, who is also the president of New Life Ministries, and licensed marriage and family therapist Marc Cameron. And we're going to talk to a bunch of people that are on the phone right now in just a moment. First, Marc, what's on your mind to get us going?
Well, today I want to talk about resistance. And I want to ask an honest question for the listeners to reflect on is, are there times that you can convince yourself that others should be the ones to change for relational patterns to improve? Now, my wife and I had a conflict last week, which took a lot longer to resolve than usual. And because we both got stuck feeling like we were more wrong than the other person, and we were wanting the other person to apologize first. Now, when we're feeling hurt and vulnerable, we often feel justified in our reactions or our self-protection. And it's easy to believe that if others would just listen, soften, or do things differently, then the relationship would finally work. And while that can be comforting, it can limit our ability to be objective. Now, depending on your attachment style, you might form resistance in different ways. So I want to talk about some of the ways the attachment styles get stuck, and I want you to think about, which one of these could be you. So avoiders prefer logic over emotion. They see vulnerability as a weakness and expression of strong emotions as being less resilient to life's challenges, even when emotional displays are healthy or appropriate. And so they resist growth because they think connecting to vulnerable feelings feels like losing strength rather than gaining it. So they tend not to have a lot of empathy for themselves, which stops them from having empathy for others. Pleasers fear disapproval. They're often unable to hold boundaries that are needed when others are upset at them, and that keeps them enmeshed and pleasing, reinforcing the pattern they need to break, and they avoid difficult conversations, though confrontation is often necessary to allow that tension for growth to occur, while vacillator's tend to focus on how they've been hurt, often believing their pain deserves more attention, and their drive to be understood can outweigh their willingness to understand, leaving other people disheartened at a double standard. While controllers and victims, these are people who grew up in abusive homes. They often medicate their emotional pain with addictions, and that prevents them from addressing their attachment problems. And they can also remain in abusive relationships despite opportunities for help, simply because this is just the relational pattern they've known. But here's the good news here. Once you can see and admit your resistance, something powerful happens. We experience something called cognitive dissonance. Now, cognitive dissonance is that uneasy tension of a discrepancy between what you truly believe and how you're actually behaving. So cognitive is cognition's thoughts, and dissonance is discrepancy. Now, cognitive dissonance, that's the neural mechanism which is necessary for true change behavior to occur. And just like lifting weights at the gym, the more we push against something that is an equal opposing force, the stronger we grow and the less resistant we become. Now, I got a new book coming out. It's called Understanding Your Attachment Style, and I'm going to unpack how each of the attachment style resists growth and also reveal the growth goals that lead to lasting change. And that comes out December 2nd. It's going to be in print, ebook, and audiobook, and I read it myself in audiobook, so you can get the full experience in proper English pronunciation.
I was waiting for that.
But I want to challenge you. The next time you feel resistant to doing the right thing, I want you to pause and honestly challenge yourself. Am I justifying my reaction from a place of insecurity? And then allow space for cognitive dissonance to do its work between how you're acting and how you know God calls you to love, because that's where true transformation begins.
Now, I personally don't like listening to audiobooks, but when it's the author reading his own book, I prefer that. Plus, when it's Marc that's going to be doing the reading with that accent, that's going to be spectacular. So I think I'm going to sign up for this one for sure. But if you prefer to read or an actual book or an ebook, it'll be available December 2nd, just in time for Christmas. Again, it's called Understanding Your Attachment Style. We'll be back on New Life Live.
We've been married 33 years. We attended the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop. Even though we've read books, or attended a few other marriage weekends, this was certainly different and a lot more intensive than initially that we thought.
When you come to intimacy in marriage, you're going to be immersed into a 3-day process.
Was not really sure exactly what to expect, but the idea of learning to really understand intimacy was intriguing. We had been in the same patterns of struggle over and over again.
If you've thought, I don't think we can ever change, we're just in this rut and we can't get out, the Intimacy in Marriage workshop can help you get out of the rut.
The Intimacy in Marriage Weekend is February 13th to the 15th in Orange County, California. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the code NLL for a discount. 1-800-639-5433.
I would highly recommend it.
To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Damien in Pensacola, Florida, listening on WEGS. You are our first call of the day. Hi, how can we help you?
Hey, how are you? So I got so many questions, and I know I got limited time, but so I might seem like I'm all over the place. But
well, what's your main question? Let's start with that.
Well, that's the thing. I've been trying to figure out how to understand. Like, I've been told. So my son's mom left me, right? And I have an addiction, alcohol, drug problem that I've been in treatment for, but she's never been able to. I guess she can't get past it or whatever. But so she told me that I drove her to the Lord, and
your struggles drove her to the Lord. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I did a lot of damage, and so we were working through to everything, and I travel working, and at the time I was able to. We weren't too far from each other, so she would come on a weekend, and so we had this great weekend, and then that very next Monday, she told me, she was like, look, I got to talk to you. And she's like, the Lord asked me to close the door on you. And we have a child together. We got a 5-year-old together.
Mm-hmm.
And she says that she's a higher placement with the Lord than I am. And I'm trying to understand how one human can tell another human where they are with a relationship with the Lord, but and so like I kind of got blindsided, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I knew we were working on stuff, but I didn't know I was going to get smacked like that. And so.
So, are you hoping to reconcile with her, to have a relationship with her as well?
Well, if anything, be able to co-parent. We can't even co-parent right now.
Okay.
So when she says,
every time I talk to her,
when she says,
it seems like every time we speak, my past comes up.
Ah, okay.
So when she says,
hold on, go ahead, Mark.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm just curious. When she says close the door on you, is she saying like just cut you out of her life completely, or is she saying not pursue a romantic relationship, but you guys still have a custody agreement?
Yeah.
Which one?
And so, you know, I mean, we were together almost 8 years, and
Damien,
I know where I'm at. Yes.
Damien, you were never married? You were just together, right?
Correct.
And in those 8 years, did you all live in the same house?
Yes.
Okay, but that was when your alcohol use was at its worst.
Right. Towards the end of that relationship, towards the end of that, all that.
Okay, because what happens a lot of times in relationships that are kind of bonded with addiction is people get sober and all of a sudden that doesn't fit with them anymore. Like, she doesn't like the new version of 𝙇𝙤𝙑𝙀. Now, that's no points off. It's not to put her in a better place than you, but you guys essentially have a new relationship. You will have to figure out how to parent together. It'll be a very important part of the process. But right now, what I hear is, Damien, your heart is broken because you thought, I've done all this work. I'm in a really great place. We had this great weekend. And then she says, yeah, not so much. I'm not going to do this.
Well, is anybody there?
Yeah,
we're here.
Wait, yeah.
So, not only that, when it comes biblically, both of us were following the Lord. Where she still is. I've backslid, and where the Lord believes, and correct me if I'm wrong, He believes in unity, not separation.
Well, yes, but Damien, you know what you just said, though? You told us before, your question was, how can somebody judge someone in their relationship with God? But you just identified that you're not walking with God as you once were. So that's probably what she's pointing out. And God wants a relationship with you. He wants you to have freedom in your life. He wants you to have healing. He wants you to be a good father. All of those things are very important. And I understand that your heart is broken right now because you thought we could just go back to what we were doing before. But the goal now is, how do I move forward to be the man that God has called me to be? Both, who knows if your girlfriend will respond to that, but your job has to be, I've got to get on the right path for my life. Mark?
Yeah, I mean, God, it's a difficult situation, Damien. God wants unity, but he also wants us to, he wants us more to be restored to him. He wants us more to do his work. It takes two secure people to have an emotionally secure relationship. You have to have both the components together. And so if you don't do your own work, you're going to continue to struggle in this relationship. And if you're allegiance, I know you're in treatment now, but it doesn't sound like you're completely, all the way past that into complete sobriety yet. That's going to be takes a toll on a relationship. And so, yeah, God wants that unity, but sometimes it's the loss that we have because our allegiance goes to the addiction that drives us to want to recover. So I think the focus right now is you getting sober, and then you becoming the co-parent with her. And that's how you learn to build trust. And then maybe as that develops, maybe then there will be an opportunity for reconciliation. But I think your first priority is sobriety and then co-parenting.
Agree.
Damien, we're going to send you a copy of the Life Recovery Devotional from the newlife.com store just for calling in today to New Life Live. And now go ahead.
Let's get him connected with the Life Recovery group too.
For sure.
Because that'll be helpful.
Yes, it will. So Damien, stay on hold and we'll help you in just a moment. And now let's talk to Wendy in Brooklyn, New York, listening on WBYN. Wendy is a Club New Life member. Thank you so much, Wendy, for your support.
This is Wheezy.
I'm sorry. Okay, I need to go in for my eye appointment. That's for sure. Thank you for reminding me. Man, I am so sorry.
I love that name, Wheezy.
Yes.
I love it.
Well, it's...
Is that a nickname?
Yes.
Okay, very cool.
I am a big fan of Club New Life. I went cruising with you guys up to Alaska when Steve Arterburn did the karaoke night. So
I was there, Wheezy.
Yeah. All right. So, yes, this is my question. I am 76. I was widowed 6 years ago. I was a contented widow, sort of, for about 4 years. And then I was hit like a ton of bricks by loneliness. Mm-hmm. And I realized that I had a man who was emotionally there for me for 46 years, and I'm a little bit spoiled. So I dated somebody that a friend recommended, and that was a complete train wreck. And when I got disengaged from that, I thought, well, I'm still lonely. So I have been venturing onto the world of online dating.
Okay.
And I could write a book on all the scammers and frauds. But despite all that...
It's funny you said scammers and frauds, but it also sounded like scammers and frogs. Frogs ribbit. So, some of them...
And kissing one, you
frogs.
get a prince? Is that
yes.
Get it? Okay.
Okay.
Sorry,
so
Wheezy.
Real person. That's okay. A real person. Been dating him about 2 months. I like him a lot. I'm a passionate walker, and I'm walking right now. Almost all of our dates have been hikes and walks, some of them 3 and 4 hours long. So I've gotten to know him quite well, and we have a lot in common. But we have one issue, which is that I believe that sex belongs in marriage, and he's a little bit more casual about that. And I told him from the get-go that was my position, but I guess he was sort of hoping I wasn't serious. Anyway, about a week ago, we had a very nice walk, and we've been holding hands and kissing. I've not been unfriendly, but at the end of this walk, he sort of suggested he drop over for the night, and I told him again that that wasn't on my life plan. So we talked that night, and he said, well, I guess I have to throw you back, and you have to find somebody who will marry you. And I said, well, I guess I have to throw you back, and you can find somebody who doesn't think that's a priority. But we had a post-mortem breakfast yesterday, and I still really like him. And I'm attracted to him, and I know half of that is just loneliness. But my question is, should I just end this relationship completely? Also, I can hardly find anybody else on the East Coast who will walk with me for 4 hours. He's just the best company.
Gosh, Wheezy, that's hard, but I love that you are forthright with what your moral position is. I mean, like, this is what you want to do. I don't think it is. If you guys had breakfast this morning, obviously he still wants to stay connected with you, right?
He does, yeah.
Okay.
And he said, and can we at least hold hands? I said, yeah, I guess so, as long as you're not dating somebody else,
Yeah, well, and that's what Wheezy, that's exactly what I was going to say, that I think that this can be a friendship until, there's somebody else, or, just enough about him to know what that would be like for you. But I don't want you to make a decision based on your loneliness that you'll regret after the fact, And let me ask you this, Becky. Do you have any friends that know him or loved ones that know him? Like, I don't know if you have any kids or anything like that.
I am tremendously well connected. I have 5 dear children and tons of friends, but none of them have met him yet.
Okay, well
one of them met him for 2 minutes.
Okay, well that might be the next thing that you need to do, though. Is if you continue in a friendship with him, that you bring him into your circle, because they're going to see things that you may not see. You've already established who you are in the relationship. He's willing to abide by what your boundary is, but there's that disappointment of him not being honorable. In that case, but I don't think you have to end the friendship.
Mark?
Yeah, well, I mean, you've only been dating 2 months here, Wheezy, and we hold with you with your convictions here. Now, your relationship is only as mature as it is non-sexual, because it's that sexual tension that drives the connection to build true intimacy. And so that's why the Bible says, don't do that until you're married, right? Because then you have that chance to get to know someone here. The one thing that I would caution you on is holding his hand, because you can't spend copious amounts of time with someone and not feel attached to them. And so if you build this intimacy by holding his hand or even kissing, and then he meets someone else, you're going to be devastated. So you probably need to build in some level of detachment from that as you shift to a friendship with him.
That is a good word.
It is. Wheezy, stay on the phone because we want to send you something from the newlife.com store. And we've got other calls that we're going to get to today here on New Life Live. I'm Brian Perez here with Marc Cameron and Becky Brown, and we will be back on New Life Live.
I went to Every Man's Battle in 2012. My sexual integrity was not what it should have been. I sought out affairs, whether physical or emotional. Until I came to Every Man's Battle, I didn't understand that would never fill that void.
Every day, men struggle with sexual integrity. Impure thoughts, strip clubs, affairs, pornography.
The shame and guilt was overwhelming.
For over 20 years, New Life Ministries has been helping men regain their integrity through their one-of-a-kind Every Man's Battle Intensive.
You will discover what the true root of your pain is, and you will discover how to overcome.
You don't have to struggle any longer. Get help in Washington, D.C., December 5th through the 7th. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE to register or to find out more. 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Enter the code NLL for a discount.
Every Man's Battle saved my life.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. Club New Life changes lives.
I think I go way back to listening to New Life, learning so much from it, and then become a Club New Life member.
Club New Life is a monthly giving family that helps New Life Ministries provide Christ-centered hope and counseling resources to thousands of people.
I'm so thankful because why I keep giving? Because I keep learning, and I'm so thankful for all the lives that you touch every day and the people's lives. So when I get to still hear the radio show, it's just so encouraging to my heart.
When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, you'll make a difference in the lives of individuals and families with godly counsel and connection to help.
And one reason I give? Because I feel like sometimes I'm hiding behind a counselor's couch, listening to all this great information and not paying. So my guilt of this great advice is alleviated by being a Club New Life member.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. And together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
There are many reasons people seek counseling, like relationship struggles, a past trauma, an addiction, or you're just feeling stuck, or that's just to name a few. You might have other reasons you're considering professional help, but have you considered why you should work with a Christian counselor? Becky Brown, let's talk a moment about what's different when you connect with a New Life Network Christian counselor.
I'm recalling a caller from a show recently who had been with a counselor for like a couple of decades. And they identified that their counselor was not a Christian counselor, but that they were Christian. And we brought up the subject, how does that work? Because if you are walking with Christ, it's very important that you have a counselor who's speaking into your life that has that same basis. You're not going to get saved by a Christian counselor. That's not what they're there for. But many times people who have Christian beliefs will get they'll be, I don't want to say chastised, but they get kind of judged, which is ironic, for being faith-based. That may be part of the problem. So when you are looking for help for your life, having someone who shares that belief in Jesus can make all the difference in the world.
Do you think there's also the fear from some people that, no, if I go to a Christian counselor, they're going to give me so much Bible that they're not going to dig into my real problem? Do you think that's a concern?
No, actually, I think people of the faith tend to stay away from counselors in general. They'll go to their pastor first. I'm just saying, because that's the legitimate counselor in a lot of believers' minds. And what I would say to you is that while we love pastors and we know the impact that they have on the church community, and we love them, we pray for them, but when you have really difficult things that you're going through, it's really helpful to have a professional help you out.
Yep, and you can find a Christian counselor at newlife.com or call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and we will connect you with one. All right, let's go back to the phones. And Cindy in Lusby, Maryland. At least I think that says Cindy, if my eyes are working now. Cindy, are you there?
I am.
And that's your name?
It is.
Great, okay. I was able to read
2
that.
for 2.
Yeah,
Brian.
I'm doing okay now.
I was just thinking the same thing, yeah.
Cindy listens on WAVA, and thank you so much for calling in today. How can we help you?
Well, thank you for taking my call. I've actually been listening for a while, and I've been wondering about calling in, but this is something I guess I'm just recently realizing. My situation is I'm 68, and I live in a 55-plus community. I have an adult daughter who is 47, who has been living with me for a year and a half. Now, basically, her history is she was born premature, born with hydrocephalus. We've been discovering how that works as we go. At 18, she was a pretty resistant child, very stubborn, doing things her way. And by the time she was 18, she couldn't wait to get out on her own, which she did. Anyway, she's been back and forth to home during cycles, going down, getting up, going down, getting up. Not addictions or anything. She just has, we finally had a very extensive examination done of her. It took several months. And neuropsychological, and it came out that she has severe executive functioning disorder, ADHD, which we knew as a child, and several other coexisting issues. The bottom line is, basically, the best way I can put it as her mom is she's just an extremely apathetic person. And it's not mean, it's not vicious, it's not selfish. She just sincerely and honestly doesn't care about anything. She just really doesn't. And again, it's not a mean thing at all. It's just her honesty. It's her truth.
So what's your main question for her?
Is with her living with me this last time, she's still with me for it's almost 2 years now. I've discovered that I believe I'm probably dealing with at least a good dose of OCD, which never was brought to my mind before because my world was always controlled by me. But having her live with me and her lackadaisical attitude, again, it's been very tense for a while, but I'm trying desperately to accept that, quote unquote, it's not her fault. She just, that's who she is.
Cindy? Wait, I want to ask a question before you ask your question. Because you identified her diagnosis, then you identified yours. My question for you is this a permanent situation? Like, are you planning to have her live with you from here on out?
Okay, you just hit my question.
You don't know if you're trying to make that decision.
Right. The thing is, we've been working very hard on getting her services and support.
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
We've got to take a break, Cindy. We'll continue our conversation with you when we come back here on New Life Live, and we've got some other calls on the board that we want to get to, too. Hey, thank you all for watching and listening today. Make sure to share New Life Live with your friends, your relatives, your neighbors, just in time for Thanksgiving. You can tell them all about us at the table.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found Life Recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. Do you need help for life's hard situations?
My husband recently said he wanted a divorce.
I'm confused on what I should do.
I have an eating disorder.
New Life Live answers your questions on relationships, grief, addiction, trauma, anxiety, and much more, all from a biblical perspective with our panel of professional counselors and psychologists.
I learn a lot from your program.
You help so many people.
I appreciate your ministry.
Whether you listen or watch, there are so many ways to connect with us to ask our panel of counselors a question. Call us Monday through Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific at 1-800-229-3000 to ask your question on New Life Live. Or go to newlife.com/radio for other ways to get your question answered.
I'm trying to find help.
I just want to know how to set boundaries.
If it's a sin, what am I supposed to do?
Need a therapist or a coach, a resource, or an intensive? Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
And let's go back to Cindy in Maryland. You still with us, Cindy?
I am.
All right. So, Becky, you had asked her a question just before the break, and then we realized that you had asked the question
Cindy's,
for her. Yes, you guessed
that's
it.
Right.
Yes.
So what's the answer, Cindy? Is she going to live with you from here on out? I mean, is that what the plan is?
Well, that's what I need help deciding, because after almost 2 years of working diligently at it, we finally have a program, a placement, etc. for her to go to. It is a form of a group home because of the services she needs, because while she's physically capable of taking care of herself, she just doesn't. She literally so she needs services and support. I've been providing that.
How have you been providing that for all this time? You said she's 47 and she moved out at 18. So have you been doing that since that period?
Whenever she comes home, she's been gone most of that time.
So how does she manage by herself? How does she function? Does she have a job? Can she hold a job? Where does she live?
Yeah, she works diligently, but she doesn't keep jobs for much longer than 6 months at a time.
Because she gets fired or because she quits?
Both.
Okay.
Her situation, I understand it, is she will apply for any job. Doesn't matter how beyond her it is. She will research it to find out what she needs to say, and if she gets the job, she gets the job. Takes on something she cannot do, and as that overwhelms her and the situation turns into what it does, they either let her go or she quits. And
Cindy,
I know all this about her life. She was not in touch with the family while she was gone.
Okay, so Cindy, how long has she been back, or like
2
why
years,
did
I
she
think.
come back? No, why did she come back?
Okay. She's been back almost 2 years. She was living with a girlfriend in Pennsylvania. And long story short, The house burnt down while she was at work, and her friend and all the pets died in the fire.
Oh, that's terrible.
Wow.
It is terrible. It is. And she's never, ever dealt with that.
Oh, man.
But
all right, well,
what I believe in, based on what she's told me about what happened, is evidently it was the friend's habit to leave a small pot of water on the stove with some kind of medication in it. And when Trish left for work that morning, she noticed that pot was on the stove simmering, and she told her friend, make sure you turn that off, and she didn't. That's what caused the house fire.
Wow.
All right, so Cindy, we get that this is a challenge. Is she open to the arrangements that you have talked about?
She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to go to a group home. Okay, and the thing I'm trying desperately to deal with, and I'm going to be very honest with you, is I love her. I believe the safest place for her is with me, but I'm trying to be as honest as I can. It's almost unbearable to live with her.
Right.
Well, the struggle is you're likely going to outlive her. And so she's going to have to be without you. And what I'm hearing, too, is that she's well into adulthood. And there are periods of time that she can hold a job for a period of time, that she can research and say the right thing and do the right thing for a while to convince people. But then I'm hearing you say that she's selfish and apathetic. And now people who do have ADHD, it's an attention deficit disorder, but it can also be an intention deficit disorder, meaning that they don't follow through with what their intentions are initially. And so when we don't have internal motivation, we need external motivation. And my concern for you is if you continue to keep rescuing her, she doesn't have the external motivation to follow through, which is what she needs to compensate, because she does have that lack of internal motivation. There's theory out there that people who have ADHD, they just have a lack of dopamine for menial tasks, things like just doing the dishes or vacuuming or things like that, because that just provides no real reward for them, so they end up just not doing it and doing something else that does provide a bigger reward. But these things are necessary to be done. And so, if you have external motivation where there's a consequence to that, then you have to follow through, because even when you don't feel like it. And so that would be my challenge to you here, is if you don't need her to live with you, to take care of you, I think you're going to continue to create a dependency upon you, especially since there is an option for her.
Cindy, I'll say one thing, and then I want to send her the Heart Handbook by Laura Mange McDonald. But Cindy, my husband and I have an adult son that lives with us. He's has intellectual disabilities, among other things, and we get services from the county. He will likely live with us. However, I understand the pressure that you are experiencing. But given the reason why she's with you, the house fire is pretty traumatic. And I think maybe the next step is something in between, where services come in where you are right now, and maybe part of that service would be a therapeutic service to help her process that trauma. And then since she has exhibited that she can live on her own and she's capable of doing that, I think that may prepare her so that the group home isn't the option, since she doesn't want to do that. But I think that could be a motivator and support for you as well as her. And give a timeline. Like, it doesn't, this doesn't have to be eternal. This can be, okay, we've got something that we're moving forward on. But this is tough. It's tough. But I think that she needs some support, given that trauma. That's a pretty major life experience to go through without any resolution of what happened.
Cindy, stay on the phone and we'll send you a copy of the Heart Handbook from the newlife.com store. And Cindy is just one of several people that we have helped this week here on New Life. Just today, we heard from Damien and Wheezy. We had Mark and Samantha earlier this week. And it's all because of the financial contributions that are made by our New Life listeners. Becky, we're in the middle of a matching challenge right now. What do you tell someone who's maybe thinking, well, should I give to New Life?
Yes, you should.
Okay, next call.
Often. And
Yes.
Listen, generosity changes lives. We know that. It not only changes the person that you are touching with the ministry, but it also will change you. God has called us to help one another, and this can be part of it. If you are listening and you have never given a New Life now, your dollar can be doubled, because people who have believed in what God's doing through New Life, they have invested $475,000. That's amazing. And every dollar up to that amount will be doubled. And we just want to encourage you, if you're getting anything from New Life, please pay it forward. Give so that we can continue to give. Generosity will change your life as well as the people that we touch.
Yeah, a $475,000 matching gift. So when you guys contribute, that's almost $1 million, which is a great way to start 2026 and finish 2025, of course, as well. But just a great way to look forward to what the Lord will have us do here at New Life. Let's talk to Ellen in Michigan, who listens on Sirius XM channel 131. Hello, Ellen. Welcome to New Life Live.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah.
I am just really struggling with, I'm embarrassed to say I've been divorced for a long time, but from betrayal, and I still am so struggling with rejection. In addition to, I just lost 2 brothers in 1 year. So I'm just really struggling with a lot of grief. And I just feel stuck, and I just don't know how you get over that rejection, even though I know my identity is not in that person, but it just, I don't know, it's...
How long were you two married?
19 years, plus we dated for 5.
Okay.
And so 24 years, and he did end up marrying that person. It was a woman that worked for him. And
wow. And how long ago did that happen?
This week, or the 7th was, it happened in 16. So
almost 10 years.
Yeah, and we were separated for 3 because I was just praying and hoping and had people praying. I truly was hoping for a miracle, maybe was in denial too, but I just didn't want that for my family to be broken up.
So it's been like 12 years altogether.
Yeah, 12 years, and that's why I'm just like, gosh. But I think recently my daughter just got engaged, and she kind of turned on me, so I just feel like he always wins, and it's his way, and so... and I have 2 daughters, but the older one kind of turned on me, and the other one lives with him because that's where we raised our kids, and I had to move because I couldn't afford the taxes.
And did you say that it's this week? It's the anniversary of him getting married this week? Is that what you said?
No, not getting married, of my divorce, November 7th.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just struggling with rejection and just going through all this loss. My mom died in 2019. I had a fire. I've had 2 floods. And now I just lost 2 brothers in 1 year.
Wow.
So I'm just struggling with a lot.
Man.
Yeah, it's a lot, Ellen.
It's like we're hearing the story of Job through Ellen. And we are so sorry that you're going through this, Ellen. And everybody listening and watching, keep her in your prayers. And we will continue our conversation with Ellen when we come back here on New Life Live.
So many times we get calls about loss and grief, and it's one of life's most profound challenges. It affects our mind, our body, and our spirit in deep and lasting ways. Grief is something that we will all experience, but we experience it differently. I want to invite you to our upcoming webinar, Coping with Loss, a grief webinar. Our webinar is 90 minutes. We are going to have Laura Mange-McDonald present, and whether you're grieving the death of a loved one or walking through another kind of loss, this session offers biblical insight, emotional support, and practical tools to help you move forward.
The Coping with Loss Grief webinar is Thursday evening, November 13th. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or go online to newlife.com. Discover God's plan for healing and take the next step towards peace, hope, and wholeness. 1-800-639-5433. For over 35 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addiction, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
I found a counselor through New Life Ministries, and it's just been outstanding.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first steps toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door for a better tomorrow.
To get someone that's competent, that's good at what they do, it's been like day and night compared to what I've had before.
Call 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
So our previous caller, Ellen, that is her name, E-L-L-E-N. So you can write down her name and keep her in your prayers. And what else would we suggest for Ellen to do, Becky?
Well, the most important thing, Ellen, is we hear you. It's really hard to go through so much loss, especially when you thought life was going to look different. I mean, literally, you lived all those years with him. Then he betrays you, and then your daughter lives with him, and then the other one's not talking to you. So, and then the loss of your mom and your brothers. There's a ton of loss, and grief can consume us. But it's interesting because betrayal trauma also produces grief because of the same, what I'm just saying is that it's that loss, it's the layered loss. And so I want to get you connected with a group. If you're not doing counseling, Ellen, you need to process this with somebody, not to put everything in a bow. And I think sometimes when we experience just layered tragedy like you're describing, we want to have a good solution. But what we really need is to move through it and grieve the losses and move forward to a place of freedom. Mark?
Yeah, and obviously this is the anniversary of your divorce this week, so that brings up all of these old feelings. And there's just... sadly, there's no easy substitute for just learning how to process pain with someone, and it can be just so helpful just to tell someone your story and talk through it and get their objective opinion about it, but also receive their empathy and their comfort and their validation for places of pain that you've experienced. So I think getting into a group, getting into a therapist is, I think, just a good start.
Ellen, just for calling in today, we're going to send you a copy of the tip sheet called 10 Tips for Healthy Grieving. That's available to anyone who calls into New Life at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. So stay on the phone and we'll get that to you. And now let's go to Karina in Dallas, Texas, who is listening on KWRD. Welcome, Karina. How can we help you?
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Yeah.
So kind of a quick background. My husband and I became guardians of my 14-year-old niece here in the U.S. since like the beginning of the year. So her parents are still together and they live together, but they live in another country. And they allowed her to come to the U.S. to be with us so she can get a better education. She does have 2 younger brothers, but my niece is the oldest of the 3. So my question is, how do I show, or how do, like, my husband and I show my niece how to be more understanding towards others, have compassion, and feel empathy for others? She's very manipulative, self-absorbed, but I mean, in a way, she's very independent. I mean, she does her own laundry, she makes her own breakfast, which is a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's like she does not have feelings for others, like when she makes comments or I don't know. So I don't know how to show her how to be compassionate or how, so that's where we're stuck.
Which country did she grow up in?
Mexico.
And how long has she been with you now?
Since January, so this year.
Okay. And have you,
my husband and I.
Do you have kids, Karina? Have you gone through the teenage years before? Okay,
no,
so
we don't.
Yeah, so this is a huge cultural shift for a 14-year-old girl. As you know, as well as, you know, being separate and apart from her family. And the teen years, they are so challenging. And yes, teens can feel very selfish and demanding and manipulative. But you know what? It's actually a stage of development that they're going through as they learn to separate from parents. but she's also been physically separated from them too. And so it is just a real challenging time here. The one thing that I would recommend here is just being able to sit with her and flesh out some of those emotions and feelings of what that is like for her to come and, you know, be in a completely different culture, to be separated from her family, from her mom, from her dad. What does that feel like? And learning just to flesh that story out and provide empathy and validation. Now, teens are not problems to be solved. They're relationships to be managed. So don't expect, you know, that, you know, you'll have this conversation, it will happen a couple of times, and she won't be a teenager anymore or act like a teenager, because she will, because this is just kind of the stage of development. And it's just this, it's learning to kind of build this relationship with them and also have these.
I don't know if she's able to really tell me what her feelings are, because yesterday at night before she went to bed, I asked her, so how are you feeling? Because right now she's not talking to her mom because her mom blocked her phone because she was not behaving, and she did not keep her word in certain things that she said she was going to do. And so her mom, you know, blocked her phone like several days a week, so she only can have her phone just like 3 days, 4 days a week.
So how do we learn? How do we learn any type of language? We have someone repeat it to us, right? Tell us it, and then we repeat it back. And so that's how we learn language for emotions in the homes that we're growing up. We need a parent or a caregiver to reflect to us, oh, wow, it sounds like that's really disappointing for you. Now you just kind of insert.
I did say that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
great.
Are you disappointed? And she's like, well, I don't know. I don't know if I'm disappointed. And I'm like, are you disappointed about your mom, or are you disappointed about you?
So, Karina,
like, I don't know.
Karina, I want Marc to tell you, because listen, Marc, I thought you were going to say you need to get a feelings word list, and you need to say, give me 3 feelings. It's literally, Karina, you're going to teach her how to describe her insides. And she's had a lot of disruption. So I love that you were generous enough to say she does her own laundry, she does, you know, takes care of things, you know, so you recognize the good things, but the other stuff is just the messiness of where she is in life right now. And it's not to just write it off, but, you know, for a teen to not have their phone in a country where she's like her mom, you get all of that. But if you're going to ask her, she's still in a place in her life where she's not sure what the right answer is going to be. Because if she says the wrong thing, she might get in more trouble. And so, Marc, let's do the tutorial about how to describe your insides.
Right. I think you're doing a great job. I think those are really good questions. You observed with her, and then you asked some follow-up. You know, is it about this or is it about this? She says she doesn't know, but that's, you know, when we're in the beginning stage of learning anything, we don't know. Now, there's a really good tool called the Comfort Circle. It's in a book, How We Love and How We Love Our Kids, too. It's a separate book written by Mylan and Kay Yurkovich, which we'll send you a copy. And it's all about how do you learn to have these discussions with kids. And it is about learning to do these observations. And just as you do this over and over and over again, eventually she'll pick up language. I'm from England. And yes, you say you speak English over in America, but you don't speak English in America.
There he goes again.
I have had to learn different language, but it's, you know, as I'm around people who are talking in different ways, I start to pick that up, and that starts to become natural. So just keep doing what you're doing, learn the comfort circle, but also take a realistic view. C.S. Lewis said, I don't expect old heads on young shoulders. And so it's learning to understand that too, that this is also, you know, part of the teen years where they push back, and they just need containment in there.
Yeah. And good job, Karina. Good job.
Thank you.
For sure.
Hard.
Stay on the phone, and we'll send you a copy of How to Love Your Kids. Or
How we love
kids.
How we love our kids.
Man, I got it all mixed up today. But it's right in front of me, too. How we love our
hit the
kids.
reset button for next time.
Thank you.
That's it.
It's also available for purchase in the newlife.com store. But Karina, we're going to send you a copy just for calling in today here on New Life Live. And that is all the time we have on today's episode. Thank you so much, you guys, for supporting us financially, for praying for us, for praying for the people who call in, who are just in such horrible situations oftentimes. And just keep them in your prayers, too, as they navigate life. And we're here to help them navigate as well. And if you have anything you want to talk about, we will be here next week. God bless you guys. We'll see you at church this Sunday. And that's all we have. That's all the time we have today on New Life Live.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Please join us again on Monday for New Life Live.